And we are rocking and rolling, which is wonderful news. Hello, greetings to you, and a very warm welcome to this, another installment of the Coaching Hour podcast. If you're watching this on Facebook, remember to join in the conversation. We'd love to hear from you in the comments section, and all of the information relating to what we're doing today will be shared in that comment section as well. So you'll find the link in the description and all of those good things. I'm Paul Rotherham. It's lovely to have you with us. And I'm joined, surprise, surprise, by two lovely ladies in the form of Mary and Mareka. How's it going, girls?
We're good, thank you.
Wonderful. Nice to have you with us as we embark on another journey, about a 25, 35-minute journey. We never know how long these things are going to last. It all depends on our guest. And our guest today is no stranger to the Coaching Hour, which, as you know, is brought to you in partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. Mareka, who are we chatting with today?
Yes, thank you, Paul. We are once again talking to Falk Winter, and yes, he's a life coach. He's also a productivity coach and the owner of Life Transforming Coaching. And I'm particularly interested in this topic because I really truly believe in setting goals and always having goals. And it's surprising how many people actually don't have goals. So I'm very excited to talk about this topic today. Welcome, Falk, once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mareike. Thank you, Mary, Paul, for the introduction. Let's go for it. I know my name is Winter. We don't want winter. We want spring. We want summer here in South Africa on this side, We're getting there, okay? And as you said, Mareike, goal setting is a big topic, huh? I want to go a little bit deeper today. So can I share my screen?
Yes.
And then always, Paul, you have to interrupt me, slow me down. I want you to ask questions, okay? To keep it all engaged and interesting for you. I want to pick you up where you are. So let's go for it, guys. Setting goals.
Awesome.
Let's make this a presentation here. And when you hear the word goals, I hear you already say, you know what? I know this stuff. I know this stuff. I know this stuff. But you know what? Let's go a little bit deeper today. So the easy answer, the ChatGPT answer, I see it right here. In this DNA, we write the question, how can I reach my goals? And I've given you the answer all here. So I can stop after this, I guess. So give me 2 minutes, then we're all done. You see what we have to do, huh? You're writing it down, and you heard about the SMART and the smaller steps, how you eat an elephant, breaking it down, set deadlines, of course. You do a plan, you track your progress, and you celebrate. So ChatGPT answer, you know it all, even including the mistakes on the right side. You may spot that's the answer. Now, what do you do?
So did ChatGPT create that image for you, Falk?
Exactly, with all the mistakes. Just give me all the images. So there are better AI tools, and I know everybody's an AI in this DNA. I just want to also caution you, you have to check again. And for me, AI, it's a different topic probably. It's really a good tool to help you, but it will never do the work, huh? That's very important. It's all
I've never heard of Deaglines.
Deaglines.
You see?
Yes.
And Tracheomeogress, no? I mean, interesting.
Yes.
Huh?
Very. It's quite funny because a lot of people relying on ChatGPT. I saw an image the other day. They'd asked it to create an owl, and it had the most incredible picture. It looked like a photograph almost of an owl. But as you looked a little closer, you saw that the owl had little feet and paws like a cat. So somehow it completely misinterpreted the request. And I guess that's the point you're making here, Falk, is that if we rely on this with no human intervention, the picture that you're showing on the screen now is exactly the result that we'll get.
And that's what it is, Paul. Exactly what you're saying. Not just with the picture. I think it's called Dial or so, who generates this picture. And it's not very good in getting proper text in there. So there are much better tools with perfect text and everything. But again, and people are afraid of, AI will take over, can I use my job? It will never do. Because what we can do as humans, of course, we have to upscale ourselves, is so much more. But I want to point it to the left side. People now say, okay, I'm going to be a coach. I Google these topics, and now I can break down these 7 steps into 7 slides, and it's all done. For me, actually, it's not. That's, let's say, kindergarten, So that's why I want to read a little bit deeper going today, how I look at achieving your goals. Let's go about common mistakes first, and this again, it's still basics. I still want to draw your attention to these things, not writing it down, guys. It's a big mistake many people do. Yeah, I have my goal. It's there. I even maybe have it on my phone. But no, guys, writing it down, best on a goal card, on paper, written by hand, very, very, very important. You know, I mean, most people don't have goals, and the people who have goals, not even half of them writing them down. You may have heard about, goal card, writing down your goal card. We go into it later, probably, vision board, this kind of stuff. It's really vital. Write it down. Not specific enough. Not specific enough. I'm aware you heard this too, huh? I want to make more money. I want to be debt free. I want to lose weight. I want to stop smoking. Guys, all these are not goals, huh? And they will not even work because the phrasing is totally wrong. Becoming debt free, all what your mind hears is debt, 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 debt. It's not gonna work. You want to lose 5 pounds, not gonna work because all what your mind hears again, it's losing, losing, losing. It doesn't want to lose you anything because it has to preserve your body, so we're not gonna lose it. You know? You want to stop smoking, not gonna work because all what it hears is smoking, smoking, smoking. So we have to be specific enough. We have to know how to phrase the goal correctly. And just mentioning the SMART again. What does the M means? Just help me out here. That's easy. What was the M?
Measurable.
Absolutely measurable. So let's go back to our debt, that our, let's say, debt free. No, instead of calling it debt free, you can phrase the goal like, okay, I want to save at least, let's say here in South Africa, 1,000 rand a month. Always put down things like at least. People forget it as well because you want to give the universe the chance to give you, of course, more. So make it at least measurable. Okay, 1,000 rand, $500, €100, whatever you want to do per month, per quarter. You want to save, you want to invest. That's a very specific, measurable goal. Good. Losing weight is a little more challenging. You cannot call it losing weight. You can say, okay, instead of my 80 kilogram right now, I want to be a sexy, fit, and slim 75 by the end of December 2024. Good. Clear goal, positively phrased in the now, what you want to achieve, and a deadline. Let's go to the T. There are two options for the T. What does the T means in SMART? What does the T means?
No, I can't remember. Is it time? Is it got to do with time?
Yes, one T is for time bound. What could be the other definition of T? Anybody heard of it? As another one, actually.
What I drink every morning, rooibos.
Tea.
That's the best one here. We're having coffee right now, but rooibos is definitely better. T can also stand for tangible. I mean, T time bound, we just said it, give it a deadline, give it a time, give it how often you want to do exercise. That's easy. Tangible means,
Tangible, yeah.
Mary, what would you say tangible? How can you make a goal tangible?
It must be realistic. It must be when I say realistic, I mean that's also not such a good word. But what I want to say is when it's tangible, it must be visibly in your mind as if you have it.
Yeah, tangible means you can touch it, feel it, see it,
Yeah.
picture it. It's if something is tangible, it exists. It's there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. That's what it is. And we go a little bit deeper into this here because that's the key to everything. Tangible means you can feel it, see it, hear it, maybe even smell it, whatever it is. So you are there. It's your senses, it's your feeling, it's your emotion involved into the goal, into the end goal, huh? How will you be once you have your 75K? How will you be once you save $10,000 a month? Whatever it is, you have to feel it. You have to feel it. It has to be tangible. You have to see it. You have to, talk to yourself in the way to it. You have to put your self-image according to it. So very important, the T. Many people forget this. So tangible is even more, is as important as time-bound or put a time limit onto it. Don't forget the T. Another mistake is many people do like, there's no why. Guys, why you want to have this goal? Why do you want to save this money? Why you want to lose weight? Why you want to stop smoking? Why you want to call 5 prospects a day? Why you want to do this? And then you may heard it or you can Google it. I think, who was this guy, the TED guy? The 7 reasons for why. Simon Sinek, the 7 whys, huh? Ask the why seven times. Ask it 7 times. And you may cry once you ask the 7th time why. Because you peel the onion, huh? You go deeper and deeper. I want to make more money in course to I can buy this. Why I want to buy this? Because I get this. Why I want to get this? Because I want this. Once you're at the last why, guys, and it's very personal, and you just do it for yourself or with a good friend who's doing it you trust, then you have your real why. There's the first why or the second why to pay my bills or to pay off debt. It's not the why. There's something much, much deeper. So I encourage you, be very clear about the why. Because if you don't have a why, you're not going to keep going when the going gets tough. So be very clear about the why. Then, of course, and a common mistake is, it happens to all of us, and unfortunately, it's unconsciously, we don't believe it's possible. Yeah, we have all these fancy goals, and I tell myself I can do it, and I can, and I can, and I can. But unconsciously, again, we don't really believe I can do it. And of course, this prevents us from getting it in the first place. So there's certain things we have to do to make sure we believe it, not on a conscious level, on an unconscious level. And that's the trick. Okay, too many goals at the same time. When I work with people, we always say focus on two areas in your life. You cannot say, I want to have, the new me, 2025, gonna start the new me, I change a totally new life. It's not gonna work. Choose two areas, out of our 6 areas of life: finance, business, health, energy, family, relationship, your spiritual, religious life, your personal development, your community contribution. Choose 2 areas, not more, and then just work on the 2 areas at any given time. And then the last one, of course, I put in brackets here, internal action. We come to internal action in a second. That means, of course, you have to act. On the outside, yeah, many people still do, for a while at least, but they don't do the inner work, which is necessary to get there. And the key, at the end of the day, it's really in the inner work. So we'll see how far we get today here. But I want to give you an alternative approach to really go down to your goal achieving. So we have to talk about these paradigms again. I don't know if you did it last time, paradigms. Remember the programming, your conditioning. This is the key to achieving your goals. We want to talk a little bit about using the miracle of your mind. That means by developing your mental faculties. They bring you closer. They bring you to the goal and working from the inside out. Not on the outside, no, working from the inside out. This is what I wanted to address a little bit today, going deeper into these goal things. Tell me, what questions you have so far? What's on your mind?
So if you say, Falk, working from the inside out, what do you refer to with that? For those that's not certain, what does that mean or refer to? Is it just visualizing my goals? How do I start the work from within?
Very good question, Mareike. It goes what we're doing in the following now, using your mental faculties. The only thing which separates us from the animal kingdom, our mental faculties. I give them to you. We come to them in a second. Your reason, memory, intuition, imagination, will, and perception. That's the only things we have as humans. The rest you find in the pig or in the horse. They live by instinct, which is perfect. Once we became human, they removed the instinct and they gave us our senses. But the only thing is these mental faculties means you have to use, coming back to your question, your inner things, develop your intuition, your imagination, change your perception, use your reason, develop your memory. This means from the inside out. That's the first thing we have to do.
Falk, can you just list those again? That was quite cool. The things that differentiate us from our mammal counterparts. Just give those again in summary.
Let me just go there. Here. We can jump around it. It's not a problem. Look at the mind. That's a picture of the mind. You see the intellectual mind? That's the one, what you just said, Paul, where the things are perception, will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason. We go into them a little bit deeper if you like. And if you don't use that, this is the only thing which emerges from the animals. Everything else we find in the animals. Now, if you look at this and ask yourself, how much do I use these things really on a daily basis? You may say, not so much. And that's why, and I say this without judging or so, most people just existing but not living. Existing is living from the senses. You see here on the right side? See, hear, smell, taste, touch. The senses are hooked to our intellectual mind. We all have them. The senses are given to us for a reason, to enjoy this body, to experience this body, to experience the world, which comes through our senses into our mind, but they are not the key to reaching our goals. Not at all. So we have to go deeper and work with the mental faculties. Now, you see it here. The paradigms. It's all about, guys, these programming, these conditioning up to the age of 7, which are sitting here in the subconscious mind. And the problem is, if you don't reach our goals, and of course we all had experience, oh, I tried my best, I did my best, and I worked hard, and blah, 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 I didn't get there. Why? The reason very simple, because of the paradigms you're conditioning in your subconscious mind. And that's what I mean with working from the inside out. If you do not change these things here, your habits, your behavior, your limiting beliefs, your limiting emotions, if you don't change them, anything here, nothing will change. Because the body, the body determines our behavior, determines our results, nothing will change. And you see here, mind is movement, and our body is the physical manifestation of this movement. So in everything, law, vibration, we do not go much into laws today. The image in our mind, in this case, our goal here in the conscious mind, starts the result. And that's the way what we have to do. So if you go deeper into it, our paradigm, as I mentioned, are kind of a computer program, kind of the virus we have in our subconscious mind. We all have it given by our parents and siblings and society and social media, by our grandparents, by our environment, church, politics. So they're all giving us all these mental programs. And quite often they are, I don't want to call it negative, but just limiting or not very helpful. So look at this one here with the genie. You think, you set your goal, you impress your goal on your subconscious mind, you get emotionally involved. That means, you raise your frequency, your vibration. As you said, Mary, it's all about, how you feel. And then, of course, your action goes out into the world, your reaction from the universe, it works in the same way, and you get your results. In this case, you reach your goals. It means you alter your condition, your circumstances on your environment according to your goals. And that's the way it works. I know this is maybe sound complicated or a little maybe far-fetched, but trust me, this genie figure here on the left side explains everything when it comes to our success or our results in life. Unfortunately, we are not aware. We are not aware, and we don't know how our mind works, even though the mind brings all our results. So it starts here. We have to create an image in the mind. So it starts, that's what I mean, from the inside out. If you don't have the image, as you said before, Mary, like tangible, we have to get the image right. We have to see, feel, and be very crystal clear how it's going to be when we reach the goal. So we get emotionally involved into this new image. And then, of course, we impress it on the subconscious mind, our emotional mind down here, which runs the body, which runs everything, 95% of our activities during the day. And then we have empowered action. So you see it here. First one, let's talk about imagination a little bit. Write out your ideal goal. Have your vision board. As you said, Mareike, have your vision board ready. I'm actually doing a new one for the rest of the year here. Because things have changed. There's some new visions, some new goals. Dream your dream. Make sure you develop your imagination. Write it down. Be specific. Do your mind movie. If you don't have a clear picture where you want to go, and again, 2 areas in your life, and it is smart written and all this stuff, but use your imagination, play with it, be daring. And of course, the phrasing, I'm so happy and grateful now that, it's a very good affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm saving each month this amount of money, at least. Good. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a fit and healthy, sexy 75 kg. Woman, man, whatever you want to put in there. I'm so happy and grateful now. No? We program ourselves. We rewriting our limiting program, and it's the only way to do it. If you do it yourself, as a coaches, Mareike and so Mary, we can do things with techniques and stuff, which goes faster. But on my own, I have to use affirmation, visualization, use my imagination.
Yes. I love that.
Falk, a question for you. Oh, sorry. Carry on, Mareike.
No. I just wanted to read the quote for those who's not seeing the screen, where Michelangelo said, I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free. It's quite nice.
I like it too. He was amazing, huh?
The question I have is, and I know we've spoken about this many times with numerous guests, but what factor or what weight does the outside world carry as a factor? Because I know And I've heard many quotes relating to what we consume and how we allow other people to affect us will determine just how effective they are, and how much attention we pay to the world will determine how much it changes our lives, etc., etc. I get all of that. But realistically, we are operating in a world where there are millions or billions of other people all behaving in different ways. We have an environment, we've got things going on that we don't really have control of. We can control whether we allow them to affect us to some extent, but realistically, I mean, talking about goals, I'm sure there are many people who would stand up and say, well, hang on, guys, I've done all of this. I've set the goals. I've followed every step to the letter, but I'm still not getting to where I need to be because of boom, boom, boom. You know, life is challenging. South Africa in particular, I think, depending on where you are within the society, can make it very difficult to achieve your goals. What are your thoughts on that, Falk?
Good point, Paul. Absolutely. There are two answers for this. The first one is, I think I mentioned it before, environment is stronger than willpower. Environment is stronger than willpower. So coming to this picture, again, we can explain it with the genie here. We're using our intellectual mind, which is the same like reason, thoughts, really thought, and I mean thoughts, huh? Not mental activity, not monkey mind. 5% of the day, it's the boss. The boss is here. So that means the environment which comes through the senses has such a strong influence to us. To give you an example, let's say social media. If you do not use my 5%, was 95% is down here. If I do not use my 5%, which is the boss, which is where all our mental faculties is, so I have to apply some will. We don't have much will. So very often it's good. I use my 5% to make sure, what do I consume? What am I exposing myself to? Do I really turning off, having on my phone 24 hours, grab my phone first thing in the morning? Do I have my power out? The phone is turned off? Or do I just, scrolling and doing things, what I'm used to do, what my habits are? So it has a very strong influence. Again, we are the boss. We are, as humans, we have will. Only we have will. If we do not exercise it, nothing can happen. So we have to use this precious commodity of our intellectual capacity, intellectual mind to make certain decisions. And then, of course, I always say that's what we do in our productivity club, forming new habits. Another, fast answer is how to reach your goals is just determine two activities which will bring you to your goal. Let's say going to the gym 3 times a week, or doing exercise 10 minutes every day, or, as I said, calling 5 prospects every day to grow the business. So choose 2 activities which bring you closer to your goal and turn them into habits. Because we are creatures of habits, and habits are down here, as we said before. So to come again, the second part of the answer, Paul, would be we have to use our internal, our mental faculties, make decisions, build new habits which support our actions, which bring us, the achievement of our goals, and that's it. No victim consciousness, no blaming, no judging, no nothing. We are steering our ships. That's why we are humans, and that's why we have these faculties. We have to get away from the outside world at certain times. That's why, remember this morning ritual, your prayers, your meditation, all your inner work. If you don't do it, you're not going to get there. The mistake they do, and I didn't work on the mistakes here, is too much focus on hard work on the outside. Longer hours, more effectively, smarter, AI, and blah, 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 while, not using their focus, their reason, their will, their imagination, doing nothing on the inside. Because the inside work is harder than the outside work. But remember what we said here, if we do not change anything of the paradigm, that means if we do not change the stuff down here, you see here, change your paradigms, nothing will happen. It doesn't matter how hard I work with the body, how much effort, time, hours I put into it. I have to do my inner work. And that's all what it is. So, and there's nobody to blame, as you said. We're already always responsible to how we respond to our environment. We just have to do it.
I can vouch for that, what you're saying, because I was in a situation where I had no car and no means, to have an income. But I used this method that you're teaching and just visualized, because that visualization is so powerful when we actually get the result from it. when you start doing the work and you see the result, it just motivates you to use that method all the time because it works. It does work. That visualization is more powerful than the economy. Paul, when you said that,
Absolutely.
Oh,
because
were you addressing that to me, Mary?
well, to everyone, but remember when you said earlier, that there's so much outside forces bombarding us.
Yeah. I do
I,
think it's a
yeah,
skill to look within versus looking outside, and I think that very often is a factor. But I do sometimes think we need to be cautious about promoting concepts such as this when a lot of people are not in the correct state of mind to even be able to start these steps. I'm thinking of people who perhaps don't have work. They're living with the daily struggle that we face, not only in South Africa, but globally, where maybe there's no electricity, the water's gone off again, the bills are racking up. Eskom's just increased their rates by another however many percent. They've had crime in their area. I'm just thinking of all of those things, and it's all well and good saying, look within. But ultimately, we are creatures that are living in a world. And I think it is quite challenging, and I'm not just talking about financially here, I think it's quite challenging to remove yourself from a world that is, I think, rapidly deteriorating wherever you live in the world. We're surrounded by lawlessness and crime and negativity. And yes, it's wonderful to shout rah rah and try and be positive and block all of that out. But I think in the real world, a lot of people find that very difficult.
well, that the real world isn't really what you see. That's the problem.
Yeah,
It's a very
you.
good point. Sorry, maybe, and Paul, what we can say here as along with goes with Mary, it's really, look at there, all these people who are living in the same circumstances, in the same situation, in the same, let's say, in South Africa, township, whatever. And they make it. And they just make it so. But of course, we're talking about 5 people out of, 100 people only. What's different? Same conditions, nothing else, nothing better, and they make it. So what do they do differently? It's always a good question. And then again, as Mary said, whatever we focus on, we get more of it. Wherever we give our energy, this goes not law of attraction, where everybody talks about this law, which is secondary law, the law of vibration or the law of resonance. Whatever you give your attention to, send your energy to, that's what you attract more. So the more we get busy with what's all wrong in the society, and you can go to Europe, you go to America, you can go to South Africa, there's so many things wrong. The more we give focus to this, the more we're attracting into it. We will not change what's happening on the outside. We have very little, going back to this picture, we have very little influence what's going on the outside. As you said before, Paul, we have 100% control what's going on the inside. And just for practical sake, it's nothing to do with positive. I don't like positive thinking. It doesn't even work. It's just a tiny part of it. If you're not able to feel it, if you're not able, to do the work and put it into actions at the end of the day, where the attitude comes in, aligning your thoughts with your feelings, with your actions. If you don't do this, and most people don't do it because they don't know. Some people do know, but then we are too lazy to do it. So we just fine as we are, then nothing will change. And that's just the way it is. So whatever we give out, we have to be so careful about what we give our attention to, how many social media news and stuff we are consuming every day, or talking to the gossip and so on, because in this way, we will not change our situation. And then again, whoever follows this session right now here, we have a computer or a phone, we have probably a roof over our head, we have food to eat. This is not for people who basic needs are not met yet. They can apply the same things, but they have, of course, other needs to fulfill before they want to go into these higher things, what we are talking here, achieving certain goals.
there
And you
is.
mentioned blocking
Sorry.
what's outside. I think that is such an important step. I think all of us, Mary, Mareka, and myself, at some point have spoken about how we've made a conscious decision to turn things off. So I was obviously in radio for many years, where I was literally listening to the news all the time. I was part of a breakfast show where we were reading the news and delivering the news 8 times in 4 hours. And having left that world to a large extent, I've realized just how that controls you, how permanently being fed this negative sensational news, and whether it's coming out of the speaker on the radio station that you're tuned into, or whether it's coming up as an advert on social media. I say advert promotion, whatever it might be, whether it's a YouTube video. I really do think that there we have a lot more control than most people realize, in terms of actually choosing not to consume that. And in the beginning, I was a little bit fearful because I felt that I would come across as naive or ignorant. And even now, I have conversations with people where they'll say, "Oh gosh, did you hear what happened in Israel? Or did you hear about this? Or have you seen what's going on in the Western Cape?" And I very often have to say, "No, I haven't got a clue." And I think the old Paul would have been a little bit concerned by that, because I felt that I needed to know everything. Because when you're on the radio, you don't ever want to come across as being a moron. So you do generally educate yourself, inverted commas, by reading these things and watching what's going on in the news. But the more you step away from that, I think the more it actually empowers you, because those things very seldom bring any positivity into your life. They really don't.
Very true. Mary, and you work
I
with
want to,
people every day that actually changes their reality.
yes, I can, well, it's not a platform now because I don't want to absorb
Yes,
time. No, but maybe we should have a session where we do some
we
testimonials
will.
about. What I wanted to say, some people don't know. They can't imagine. I found that out with some people. They don't know how to imagine, or they don't have that ability to imagine. So then there's another way to compensate that, is to feel it.
Mm.
When you can feel it, feel that you have it, feel what it feels like to have it. Whatever it is that your goal is, feel, use your other senses if you can't visualize it. Am I correct? Um,
Falk?
Absolutely, Mary. You can. It depends on what type you are. We are visual types, we are audio types. Kinesthetic types, audio digital types. I have very often clients too who cannot even feel. Not only wish, they say, "No, I don't feel it. I don't really feel." Then you just talk yourself through it, huh? These are the people who are very intellectual. They need facts and figures. Okay, you can talk yourself through it, but as you said, Mary, we have to work from the end, from the wish fulfilled, huh? And the feeling, of course, it plays the biggest part. Remember, feeling is in the subconscious mind, 95%. It drives the body, it sets the vibration, what you're in, and the better you feel, the longer you feel better, the more often you feel better, the better you act, the better your behavior is, and the better your action, the better reaction, better results. It's that simple. It's not that simple. I mean, it's simple to understand. It's harder to implement. And as you mentioned before, Paul, also, it's a muscle. Huh? These mental faculties are muscles, like in the gym. Huh? We have to train, and we can train them. They're exercise. We didn't talk more about intuition and perception and memory and reason. You can train them, and we better should train them, to sharpen them. And the more often we use it, the easier it gets in life. It's like going to the gym very hard at the beginning. After 3 months, you've done it twice a week, you're fine. And the same with developing your imagination, your intuition, and so on. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, these are it's simple techniques, but it's yet so powerful. I mean, it's simple. We overcomplicate it, but if you actually do it and you apply it, it works. I know. So Falk,
Perfect. Thank you from my side. I mean, there's much more. As I said, I jumped quite a few things. How to develop your self-confidence, perception, of course. Intuition plays a big role. Intuition is one of my favorite too.
yes.
But we can talk at a different time, or
Mm.
people can come to me and ask the question. There's a lot of things to do, and I just want to encourage you to start somewhere and choose your goals, have them written down, and start from the end. Who will you be once you have achieved your goal? I wrote this somewhere, here. This is so beautiful. It's about being, doing, having. Who do I have
Mm.
to be to reach my goal? The question is not, what do I have to do? No, ask yourself, who do I have to be? It's
Mm.
not about, I want to lose 5 pounds. So I'm going to go 3 times to the gym, at least 10 minutes. Okay, that's all good. But it's even more important to ask, who do I have to be as a fit, healthy, lean, smiling person? And then play this person. Be the actor of playing this person. And the more often you do it, it becomes just automatic. And then you will attract the results automatically as well. That's the shortcut at the end of the day. And it takes a while.
It does,
Thank
but
you. Yeah.
thank you so much, Falk. Yes, remember, so it's not about doing, because most people wants to start doing something. So first be it, then do it, then you'll have it. So thank you so much, Falk. Thanks for reminding us again of all of the important elements of goal setting, because it's like you said, just to quickly recap, it's how you write it, being specific, and the fact that you have to write it down by hand. Very important. Thank you so much, Falk.
And
Thank you.
I think in an age where everything is instant and we all want everything to happen now, we do need to allow ourselves some time and understand that these things don't just happen overnight. And whether that's losing weight, becoming fit, becoming successful, building a business, whatever it might be, so many people, myself included in some areas of my life, we get thrown off course because we don't have the patience. Oh, this is taking too long. I'm not seeing any results yet. Meanwhile, just around the corner, had you persisted and continued, you would have seen the results. So, but we live in an age, I was thinking about it yesterday when I was at my local Pick and Pay. I just sat in the car for a few seconds and I was watching people around me and everyone was in a rush. You could see everybody's racing to be somewhere and very few people are actually present in the moment. Most people are absorbed in some sort of thoughts about not being where they are, but being somewhere else. And I think there's still a lot that we can learn through helping and guiding people through the coaching hour. And that's why it's always so lovely to have guests like you, Falk. Even if it's content that we've heard 100 times, hearing it 101 times is certainly not too many. And each coach we have presents these things in their own way. So thank you for that.
Thank you, guys. Good to have you. It's all about doing, implementing, absorbing, becoming it. The first thing is to understanding its knowledge. That's free. Go to YouTube, ask ChatGPT. The second thing is applying. That's okay. But the last step is the most important. We have to become it. And once you become it, then things getting easier. And again, life will always be up and down. That's just the nature of life. Thank you so much.
Falk, thank you for joining us. Sorry, Mary.
Can you repeat what you said? You said environment is stronger than willpower. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Environment, I love that saying.
It's not from me. Nothing is from me, as you said. This truth has been around for thousands of years. We're just putting it together again, being reminded, as you said, Paul, and then applying it. And then I would add becoming it. That's the key. Yeah?
Well, hopefully through what we're doing on this podcast, you will become the person you are destined to be. Thank you very much, Falk, Mary, Mareka, as always. A pleasure having you here. And remember to keep an eye on our social media channels, YouTube, Facebook. All the details will be in the description of this video. And along with Coaches Network South Africa, we look forward to seeing you on the next edition of the Coaching Hour. Bye for now.